Episode 1. We are a group of about 80 people who are about to set sail on a luxury cruise from Southampton to New York. The journey will take 3 days. We get to the other side, we'll have a 6-week tour of North and South America. It's a very luxurious and expensive holiday. On the last night, just before we get into New York, there will be a captain's ball. It's a very formal occasion, and we get dressed up, and we've spent a lot of money getting our expensive dresses and suits, and we're excited about the prospect of the captain's ball. Some people on this trip are very rich, and they go on this trip every year. Some people have saved for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. There's an elderly couple who've saved all their life so that they can go on this experience. Others have won it in a competition because they simply could never have afforded this. It's an expensive and it's a luxurious trip, and so children are not allowed. The ship's waiting to take off. Everyone's very excited. The elderly couples, children and grandchildren are waving them off, as well as many others. But there's a couple missing. The youngest members of the party have still to arrive. A beautiful bride and her new husband. A white car races towards the ship. Out scrambles the bride. She looks beautiful in her white gown. Everything's glistening and beautiful. She runs up towards the boat and up the steps, clutching her long skirt. She's a little bit wobbly from all the champagne. And she throws her bouquet to her family and friends, saying, "See you in 6 weeks." The excited bride is the centre of attention, and all the passengers are eager to meet the happy couple and hear about the wedding and all their plans for the future. The atmosphere is electric. Everybody's excited about this trip and start to talk about their plans, especially about arriving in New York. A rich couple order champagne for everyone, and they all toast the new bride and groom and for their plans for the future life together. The first 3 days fly by as everyone gets to know each other, sharing stories, sharing pictures of their friends and family. And finally, the night of the captain's ball arrives. The captain puts the ship in automatic pilot and he joins the passengers for the celebration. Everyone is in stunning dresses and beautiful tuxedos and suits. Everybody waits excitedly at the doors to the dining room. Suddenly they're opened and everyone gasps. There's music playing, candles everywhere. Crystal glasses sparkle and the chandeliers shimmer. Outside, the moonlight is dancing on the waves. After a wonderful meal and champagne, everyone's drinking cocktails and dancing and enjoying their evening. The air is full of laughter and music. But at 11:35 precisely, there is a sudden jolt and a sickening, grinding sound of metal scraping against rock. The lights go out. Everyone screams and falls to the floor. The chandelier comes crashing down. Plates and glasses smash everywhere. People frantically stamp out the candles. The ship tilts to one side and becomes completely still. There is silence. All that can be heard is the sound of the waves crashing on a shore. A shore that should not be there. The captain's the first to recover. The crew get emergency torches. The once elegant ballroom is a mess. It is wrecked. It is covered in broken crockery and chairs are everywhere. Luckily, no one is seriously injured. He asks everyone to stay where they are while he and the crew go on deck to find out what's happened. The passengers wait anxiously in the dark, speculating about what could have happened. When the captain returns, He tells the passengers that they are safe because the ship has run aground. The hole is above the waterline. Tells them to go to sleep, and in the morning they'll go ashore and check for any damage. Of course, everyone's far too scared to sleep properly. The next day, everyone goes ashore, and the captain and his crew make their way to the highest point of the landmass. The passengers all stay by the shore, very tired from the night before. But some people play cricket, and the bride takes out a guitar and starts playing and singing, and some join in. It gets to the end of the day, and as dusk falls, they build a fire. There's a female soldier who's one of the passengers, and she was on this holiday of a lifetime, and she advises them how to keep it going all night and helps with gathering the wood. Some people are even enjoying the adventure. By nightfall, the crew return. They take their places around the fire. The elderly couple fetch plates of food for everyone. The group patiently waits for them to finish, remembering that they've had nothing to eat all day as they've gone on that search, apart from the fruit that they picked up as they were going along. The captain put down his plate and he stared into the firelight for a moment. The group fell silent as he prepared to speak. He had grave news. The captain tells them that they're on an island. From the high point they reached, they could see that they were surrounded by water. There's no danger, he said. There's no predators. There's plenty of food and there's fresh water. We're all quite safe and we've all got what we need to survive. Survive! Gasped the bride. Surely we're going to be rescued. We're not going to be here long, are we? She looked around at the others and people began to murmur. The captain looked at her sadly. He looked at all the faces staring anxiously back at him. He said, "You see, there are no birds. The island should be teeming with birds. This is strange and very worrying. The aeroplanes haven't flown overhead either. No planes have come here searching for us. I think last night, when they watched us on the radar in New York, they will have seen the light showing our position. Blip, blip, and then gone. I imagine that even now they will be circling over where we last were, and that pretty soon they will return home believing that the ship has gone down and that we have all drowned." He tells them that he believes that in the world they've come from, this place does not exist. They have left the known world. They cannot be found. The captain believes they are never going home. That's the end of episode 1. I would encourage you to make some notes of what's happened in the story today. Start to think about what character you're going to be. Are you going to be yourself? Are you going to be somebody who's in the story that you've heard about? Or are you going to create your own character? And start to think about how that character sees what's happened in episode 1 and the part they play within it. Start to think about what this community will need to survive. They've got food, they've got water, they've got the means to build shelter, but what else are they going to need to survive on the island? Think about who's going to be the leader, who's going to make the decisions, Who's in charge? Start to make some notes on those sort of questions as well. And then eventually you'll start to create your own journal. I'll give you some examples in episode 2 of some journals that students have used. See you in episode 2, and that will be available in 3 days' time. Bye.